Hi everyone, create-a-liscious here. I'm just coming on to show you before I actually do it because I was just starting to do my version of a Christmas tree and it came upon me actually I should record this because it might be interesting to other people that don't want to do traditional Christmas trees. And I've always done what I call my branch trees, and everybody has always admired them, but I never really thought to show anybody else. So here I am with that version. So you're going to need quite a lot of materials, but most of it is either from the garden or handmade, to make it really what it ends up looking like, or what I want it to end up looking like. It's not about what the people want it to look like. And so over the years, I've kind of tweaked it and twiddled it and and made it better than what it was originally. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my little jibby bit here. So every year it's different, and that's what I love about doing this. Um, so what you need is a container that's quite tall. Now, last year I used a big clear glass vase and I put hessian around it to stop the light getting into it, because I actually put the twigs into water. Well, actually, I didn't put them directly into water. I put them into those aqua crystals that go like that and expand 5 times the version. And I stood them in there because it kept it going. But this year, I kind of almost couldn't be bothered, and I've had to force myself to get to this point actually to do this. So I've just used my vintage pot and got loads and loads of stones, crystals, and all sorts of things in the bottom. And then this twig is something known in the UK as red dogwood, and it grows proficiently and beautifully in my garden. So I use the twigs because they have got lots and lots of little, you probably can't see them, let me just see if I can get closer to you, little sticky out bits, okay? And what I mean sticky out bits, they've probably got a generic name, or all these little sticky out bits are great little hanging spaces. So once it's all done, I'm going to keep going and keep putting things on it. And once every twig has got something on it, it actually does look quite beautiful, even though humbly I say that myself. And that's why I keep going with it every year. So the next part is, what do I put on it? Well, actually, as my stash has grown, I kind of love making things like most of you do if you're on a YouTube channel and you're creative. So I kind of make different things, and every year it's different, as I say. It's got the same hangy things, but I might add different things to it. So for my table, because my table is, and I won't be using it for dinner, so I can kind of use the whole table. I have got some of this backing fluffy, well, it's kind of not fluffy, it's quite coarse. I think it's used for quilting. I got it from Hobbycraft. It was about £2.95 for a whole roll of it. Well, not a whole roll, but a good 2-3 meters of it. And I put that as my base, for kind of like snow looking effect. And then with some of the other things, I do add things that I have bought because it does give a difference. So things like the chain, the Borley chain, I have bought some of that. But that was from Wilko last year or a year before. And this year is going to be a silver theme. I do have a whole gold set that I do. And it's 5 meters for 75 pence. But these are last year's prices. And when I say last year, I'm in 2017 now, December. So last year, obviously, is 2016. I can't possibly tell you where I got these from, but probably somewhere like B&M, and it might have even been Wilko again. So those are my baubles. And then what I tend to do is make the rest. So little crafty things like this, I have bought them. However, these were made for me, and I do make my own tags. And you'll see as I start to decorate this what I mean by that. So there's going to be a lot of hands in the way. There's going to be a lot of twisting and turning, but I'm hoping that you'll keep up with me. I was going to pause it whilst I did what I did, but I've decided not to. I've decided to run it. I also use this laminate stuff, and this again, where did I get this from? Wow, that's a 3 for £1 or 39 pence each, and that logo looks like a B&M logo. Oh, where are you? Sorry. Whoopsie. And then I just want to bring some into shot, a lot of different things. So I'm going to not explain it all at the beginning, but I will explain it as I go through it. as I pick each item out. So I went and collected a year or so ago, acorns. Now again, I hang these on the tree, just on the edges. I don't know, you can, where have you gone? There. So I just have glued on the top, whoopsie, sorry, a bead, what do you call those, pony beads. And I have got, honestly, when I say I've got acorns, I mean I've got acorns. I've got tons and tons of them. And this year I'm going to spice it up a little bit, but I put them, and say, on the mentioning of spices, when I put these away, I do put them in a box of spices. I know you haven't got smell-o-vision right now, but I actually have put these in cinnamon, I can't say that word, nutmeg and allspice, and put them in a box. So now they're really fragrant. So it's a bit like making them super fragrant. And again, just hanging them on my tree. And some of them are big, some of them are small. So I just find little spaces where I haven't got anything hanging, and I just put them on. Now, if you don't have anything, what was I going to say? If you don't have, I've got a whole new box of these somewhere. Those ones are tight. I'll come back to you in a second. I just figured out what I was going to say. If you don't have, let me just take this one off, branches enough to hang them on, or any of these, you can actually glue, if you wanted to, a paper clip or one of those hook things that you hang your cards off, or off the tree hangers, that's them, sorry. So they're like those S-hooks in plastic, you can get those. But I kind of liked this version, just it's because I wanted to try it and see what it looked like. So I'm just going to go and get some more goodies. And I also make the dough stuff as well. I don't know what I keep wanting to call it sourdough, but that's the bread, isn't it? It's like Play-Doh, what kids make out of salt dough. That's the word. Thank you, brain, for telling me that. So salt dough. I make a lot of salt dough to hang on here, and that was a great year when I was doing stuff. So let me just get some more stuff, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way of doing a tree, although they say there is, that you should put your lights on first, but I'm not sure I actually even want lights on. I'm just walking away, I'll be back in a moment. On here. Okay, so as I can't find my lights anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, this stuff you want to put on last, okay? So you want to get that out of the way. Your beads, yes, you could probably drape those before you start hanging your baubles, because otherwise they knock everything off. And there is, again, no right, no way of doing it. What I have learned is don't try and go around the back of the tree. Just move your pot around and allow it to just do its thing. And wherever it decides to go, just leave it there. Now, again, you know, your bits and pieces might fall off, and you might have to rejiggy everything. And normally, to do everything I do with what I'm going to do in terms of decoration in my space, can normally take me up to 3 days. This year, I'm not going to be so elaborate, I don't think. I say that now, but when I get going, you never know what's going to happen. And I just kind of get in the flow, and then I can't stop. So, and it's not just here, you know, it's not just this here, and I say here, the Christmas tree kind of effect I do. I actually, if I'm really in the mood, of which I'm not at the minute, but that's why I'm trying to do this, to try and get me in the mood. And don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. However, there has to be, I don't know, it has to be an unfolding. I can't make stuff happen, and I might even go and get some more twigs, because I don't think I've got enough here. I will go all out, and I will decorate, and I don't decorate, I actually cover every single cabinet. I cover in Christmas paper. I will cover every single picture. So there is no sign of normality. It's a bit like a magical wonderland. I used to do it a lot with lights and and I used to hang branches of trees when I was really younger. I don't do it so much now, not because I'm not younger, but I pretty much have found another way of doing it that I enjoy, which is this way. And taking things out of nature and making them work for me, rather than artificial. I'd rather have something very unique rather than artificial. And I seem to have gotten worse at that part actually over the years, that I need to have nature indoors all of the time. And I like to take my time about it. I don't like to rush. I like to enjoy the process of what I'm doing or what is actually being done. And I have been known to attack or actually put on one of my houses where I lived. I'll finish that sentence in a second for you. I actually did put a whole branch on the wall. I put a backdrop of red, which was a double red. Sorry, I'm just thinking. A double red. I'll get it out in a second, people. Come on, shout at me. I can hear you all saying. A sheet. Thank you, whoever's shouting at the camera at me. I can hear you. A double red sheet, and on the wall, and then. See, I think I need another branch there, unless that one's gonna stay there. And if in doubt, stick some newspaper in it, because you're not going to see it by the time I finish the bottom anyway. That one's not playing with me today. Oh, okay. So if in doubt, stick some newspaper in there, and or if you've got the hand like I have, a nice big cone, because all the cones are going in here to actually hold the branches in place in a little while. Okay, and you can also, like I've done here, wrap up some I can't say this word, cinnamon sticks, them as well, and put those on your tree. And again, if your twigs are too big and you don't have, and you've even got these on the top, and your twigs are still too big, you need a lot of these cookie by cookie things, you know, these plastic hook things. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I've messed up, hold on. So, and so you can put your, you can, I know I'm doing this off camera, you can put your your, those cones, and then just hang them like that, which is here. Oh, you haven't got it there, like that. Okay. So I'm going to keep on decorating. Oh, let me just show you these before I keep on decorating. And again, I've made some of these. So these are all out of salt dough. And again, I use them on every branch. And of course, the branches then splay because you've got a little bit of weight on there. But I loved that. I loved making them. I enjoyed. I've even got loads of tags somewhere in another box that I have dedicated to people who have passed before me. So people who have gone to spirit that aren't going to be with me at Christmas time. I've got tags with their names on and lots of different things that I'm going to put on it. So I'm going to keep decorating and finding my way, because I have no idea. Little angels that people have bought me over the years. So I've kind of put lots of little things on here. And sometimes I think, does it go there? If it doesn't look right, I take it off and put it somewhere else. But every branch will have something on. It's as simple as that. And when you're done, and actually you don't even have to make these out of clay. You could clay. What am I talking about? You know, what do you call it? Oh gosh, my brain really isn't working too good today. Salt dough. you could actually make them out of cardboard, which would make them a lot lighter. And then, so you just kind of keep hanging, kind of just keep hanging. I'm going to see if I can get you this bit in shot a little bit more until you can't hang anymore. And again, if you've got space where you want something to hang, but you haven't got a branch, you know, a sticky thing, then you can just hook a hook on. And again, most of the time you will have knots in the branches that you can work with, or just clip it behind a little knot that it will stay put on. Sometimes you don't, but sometimes you do. And again, this particular, you see that one doesn't want to hang there. It wants to hang there instead. No, it doesn't want to hang there either. So again, you just have to get creative and do whatever you're going to do, however you're going to do it. Doesn't always work out, but that's fine. See, that one's not so heavy. So again, what you learn is that, I don't want to stay there. What you learn as you go is that obviously the heavy items don't, not a very good example, is this what I'm doing right now? I just want to hook this in somewhere. I'm going to say they've got little bud things on where they would have grown probably in the spring. And before you say, I've taken a live product, anybody, I haven't. I've put a blessing down, which is what I do when I take things from the wild. I never, and because I did it on a full moon as well, for those of you who are druids like me. And again, you can hang off the chain as well, as long as they're little light items. And I've got lots of little angels and another little space there. And it just starts to come together. I'm going to say eventually, because it can take some time. And some of the things I've made out of cardboard, and I put just little ribbons on, and I do hang ribbons on here. But it does end up looking pretty stunning, I have to say, when I'm done. And that's not being egotistical. I do just love this for that reason. For the very reason that it's organic, and it's nothing that you've bought out of a shop. Nobody will have the same, and that part I super love. Then nobody else is going to have the same. And even I don't, from year to year. I have something different every year, which is what excites me about doing this. Is that every time I do it, something different comes from it, which is beautiful. I want some cones. Where are my cones? In the middle of this branch. You see? Oh, she's dropped it. In the middle, oh no, you have to have the big side on that. In the middle here, there's no branch, but there is lots of space because the beads going across, there's lots of space. And again, you could put ribbon, you could mesh ribbon through all of this, and just it would just look stunning, would it not? So I'm going to get on with it, and then I'm going to let you see the outcome. But you get the idea, right?
Okay, so we're kind of back with the finished, well, it's not kind of finished, but it's almost finished. And this year, as I say, the twigs you can't tell how to grow, and this year it seems to have gone, let me just see if I can come around this way and show you the whole of the table. It's gone really wide, so it's a huge, it's actually taking up most of, let me just see if I can get you in shot right. No, wrong way. That way. It's a very big table. Let me just see if I can come around here and see if I can get you in shot. And so that's kind of it. I'm going to try and get you straight. Let me just go with what the window's showing me. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Okay, and and to the right is my speaker, which is over there. That's my speaker. And let me just move that out of the way. And then, sorry, hold your eyes closed. Okay, so whoa, travel sickness going on. Okay, so on the table what I then put are treats, like bag treats, little treats, just filled with chocolates and sweets, although they're not done yet. As I say, I still haven't finished, and I've been on it almost 2 hours now. And acorns, lots of acorns, dried in the oven. And I have put some lights on, although you can't see them. And yeah, so it kind of looks a little bit like that. So we've got dried oranges, again with, I've done some hooks on, but some of them haven't got hooks on. Tags, let me just show you a couple of tags that I did make. And again, you can make your tags and just decorate them however you want. And so it goes all the way around, very heavy duty at the back, and lots of the silver stuff, which I'm treading all over. And it smells absolutely divine, because all of the corns have been in storage all year. I might just pop that under there. All year, can't see what I'm doing now, sorry. For in spices, Christmas spices is what I've put on them. I hope I'm not going too fast for you to be travel sick on this. So, and luckily I've got a neutral backdrop, which are my blinds. I'm hoping that this is catching it. And at night it's really pretty. And I like it because it's very, as I said originally, it's very non-conformist, because I don't do that bit very well, and it's different, and nobody gets it the way I get it, maybe, I don't know. And so hold on a second, I'm just going to block you out while I move so you don't feel too travel sick. Okay, so, and in the top here I just put some again some I keep calling them acorns, but they're not, they're pine cones. And yeah, so that's the basis of it. But you know, let me put some of the things out here. Show you what else I mean. So you could put whatever you want on your table. I mean, some of you don't probably have the space to, you know. And that's okay, because you'd have to do it maybe on the floor. So I just put these false trees up. If they stand up, I'm not very good at standing up, but I'll have a go. So false little trees, glittery trees. I don't know where I got these from either. Just again, and just I do a lot now on the table, just to fill the gaps in, and then I might even go outside and get loads of holly and ivy and just spread it all across the table, because it looks really yummy when you've done that. And my trees won't stand up because I don't quite know why. And I might put a Christmas bag like this one that I'm going to do. I know what else I was going to do. Hang on my tree, and I didn't do it. Let me just get it. I made some, where have I put them? Here. I made some really little ornate bags. I'm going to call them smelly bags. And these have got lemongrass and, what's in here? Lemongrass and sandalwood. So I'm going to just hang these on my little tree as well, because I haven't done that. And I reminded myself last night I needed to do that, not that I've got much space left. And again, it's not that I want it for, so these little tiny sachets I've made, well, where have you gone? And I filled them with rice, which stood absorbing the essential oils that I'd made. So I just wanted to put a couple of those on. I've actually got quite a few of them, but I'll just put a couple of those on. And I think I might have to do something quite fantastico with the sticks. I don't know yet. You see, I don't know. And this is how it unfolds, is because I never know what I'm going to do. And that's what I like about the design of this, is that I like it to unfold as we go. And I just like to keep adding stuff to it as I go along. So again, you can see, you know, the difference a couple of bags make, and even having that on the side would be okay. Oh, where have you gone? But I just like. No explanation, as I don't have to explain myself. I just have to be creative, and that's what I love to do. And again, this will look fuller than this. By the time I've finished, this is going to look, I mean, just mind-blowing. Well, for me anyway. You might not think it mind-blowing. You might think it not at all anything. But some of you might, because it's very, very unique and different. But again, I'm very blessed to have the space to be able to do this, and nobody to interrupt this space. Well, I do get people here, but what I'm saying is I don't use the table for dinner or anything. So I'm very blessed to be able to have that as my centre stage. As people come through my door, which is opposite into this space, they're going to see that. And that's what a lot of people who came here over the years, last year especially, when my clients were coming, they was like, wow, how have you achieved that? And I said, it's just sticks. But this year's sticks are very splayy, very broad, and last year was very up. So this one seems to have taken on a life force of its own and taken itself right across the table, which is lovely. I kind of like it because you don't get the normal, you get a whole heap of yumminess out of it. Can't put words to it because I just love it. And I just get so excited. I might even put some more sticks in there. I don't know yet, because I feel like a space here needs to be filled, and a space, oh sorry, was you off camera then? A space here needs to be filled, and a space at the back. But now it's up, I might just be comfortable with it. I don't know, but knowing me, I probably won't be. But then I don't like it too uniform, so that's okay, right? Okay, so that's my little Christmas tree for this year, 2017, and that's what it turned out like. And the lights are on it, but you can't see them. So at night it would glow. And I do actually put loads and loads of lights on here. So the table is rather lit up rather than the tree. And that's great because I put about 120 lights on here, which is lovely. Okay, so until, I'm not going to say the next time, but until the next time, and hopefully it's not going to be next Christmas that I have to come on and do something else. I'm hoping we'll have a project maybe closer to that I've fulfilled and you can get involved in, or you can do something from it. I really hope you give this a go, and have a great day. Remember, I believe in you. See ya. Okay, so I thought I'd show you the last version. This is how it looks. Oh, sorry, just trying to get you in focus. There you go. So that's the whole table, and with the lights on, and I still probably will tweak here and there. Just gonna see if I can get you a little bit closer so you can see it. See, I put the lights on the table rather than on, well, they are on the tree a little bit, but those are the battery ones. They tend to run out quite a lot quickly. And there's some holly now in the bags. And again, I'll tweak because I will keep adding bits of holly and loads. I will drape loads of ivy on this as well, but this is kind of final edit and final version because I just want to get it out there and get it over to you guys so that it might inspire you to do something different for your Christmas. I hope you all have a wonderful time. Remember that you're never alone, and I believe in you. Have a great Christmas and New Year.